Mpumalanga, one of South Africa's industrial heartlands, is said to have the dirtiest air in the world, which is harmful to residents and the atmosphere. Greenpeace Africa released satellite data which reveals the province as the world's largest nitrogen dioxide air pollutant. It said that the cluster of Eskom's 12 coal-firing stations within a 25-kilometre radius, alongside Eskom failing to comply with minimum emission standards, ranked the area as the dirtiest cluster of coal-fired power stations globally. The region is also heavily mined and home to Sasol's massive refinery in Secunda. Greenpeace Africa further states that the easterly winds blows the pollution to Gauteng, and that this combination regularly exposes Gauteng residents to extreme and dangerous levels of nitrogen dioxide.
Air pollution affects us all, and the coal problem in Mpumalanga means that winds are being blown across into Pretoria and Johannesburg, affecting the 8 million people living there. And we can't continue to rely on coal going forward because people's lives are on the line.
When it comes to alternatives like renewable energy, all the stakeholders, trade unions like governments, they need to embrace the fact that there is a just transition that is there in terms of creating safer and healthier jobs.
Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Environmental Affairs invited Greenpeace to present the report as part of an inquiry into air pollution and minimum emission standards, alongside representatives from the Department of Environmental Affairs and the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. The report was widely criticised. CSIR said that there was no question that Mpumalanga was a hotspot for nitrogen dioxide, but there was no evidence that was the worst in the world. An expert from the Department of Environmental Affairs agreed that people on the ground were not exposed to dangerous levels of nitrogen dioxide and described the reports as propaganda. Greenpeace Africa said that it was not surprised that the Department of Environmental Affairs defended what they called mega polluters on air pollution.
The most important thing that we as Greenpeace Africa take out of this is the quality of life that we are trying to protect in South Africa, but mainly to say that the impacts from the air quality report clearly states that where the biggest problems are, and we do have a challenge in South Africa in terms of the quality of air that we have, and which we are saying that as Greenpeace it's something that needs to be taken seriously. Because it's evidence-based, it's data that has been compiled, and it's data that we believe that from a country perspective we need to take heed of, and it's very important that we do something about it and take action.
The importance of people standing together on issues around air pollution and coal and renewable energy cannot be underestimated. South Africa has some of the best renewable resources in the world, but unless we really take acting to invest in renewable energy seriously, we're going to be stuck with things like toxic air pollution from coal for the foreseeable future.
While South Africa's indigenous energy resource is dominated by coal-fired power stations, pollution will always remain a factor. For SABC News in the skies of Mpumalanga, I'm Oosthuizen.